She's the best.
Look at that.
Yeah. I only come in on the days that she's working.
This is a nice idea. It's not all that great for those people out here, but for us, it's...
When we were waiting for you, they all had some. They're full. Yeah, for the end. Anytime that you get to see a behind-the-scenes clip of David Lynch directing, it's the most fascinating thing that we get to voyeuristically look in on. He has this painting in his head, and he uses people as the paint.
Yeah.
He figures out how to make them do the thing that he wants without explaining it to them. So what did he see in you? What paint are you?
What paint am I? Oh my God, Chartreuse? I think I'm a rainbow, that's what I think. Damn right. Yeah! I'm not one specific paint, ever. I can be many colors. Many colors.
I think I mean it more along the lines of how does he best, he utilizes a person, he'll cast off of a picture. It's like, I see this in this person.
Yeah.
Like Sheryl Lee, you probably saw a pureness that couldn't be defined. You were not what we know Leland Palmer to be at the beginning.
No.
What were you to him at the very start?
I never knew what Leland Palmer was at the beginning either. I had no idea. You know, I know that when I went up for the movie, I got a script from my agent, and it was called Northwest Passage, and the director of it was David Lynch. I thought, yeah, I like him. I like Eraserhead, and I like Blue Velvet, and I certainly liked Elephant Man. That was a real piece of work. And okay, so yeah, I'll go meet with David. So I looked at the script of Northwest Passage, and I thought, what could I possibly play in this? Sheriff Truman. That's what I thought. I'm perfect for that part. Sheriff Truman, of course. Okay. So I'll go meet David. We'll talk about the character of Sheriff Truman, and we'll see what happens. So I went to meet with David and walked into the room, and we started talking, and didn't talk about Northwest Passage or the script or Sheriff Truman or anything about the story. We talked about our first cars. And his, I believe, was a Volkswagen Beetle. Mine was a 1960 Alfa Romeo convertible. Yeah. Everything that you're thinking, yes. It was in 1960. This is 1965 now I'm talking about. I paid $1,100 cash, every cent that I had collected over the last 6 or 7 years of my life, for that car. And it lasted me a year. And it started falling apart. And I couldn't afford the parts, and so I had to get rid of it. But for a whole year, that car was a chick magnet. The drive-in movies. My stomping grounds.
A lot of tally marks on the side of it.
Yeah. And so we talked about our first car. And then about a couple of actor friends that we had in common, and that was the extent of my whole interview with David. And then I got a call a couple of days later, and my manager said, David wants you to play Leland Palmer. What? Leland Palmer, wait a minute. I got the script, open it up. I'm looking at it, and here, okay, Leland Palmer, you uh-huh. Here he finds out his daughter is dead. He drops the phone and he cries. Okay. And here, he's in the hospital mortuary, identifying his daughter's body, and he cries. Getting the picture here? Now he's in his daughter's room as the police are searching through it, looking for her diary, and he cries. And all this guy does is cry. How the hell can I do this? And then it struck me like a bolt of lightning. I have to show different levels of grief, different degrees of grief. That was the challenge, to play Leland fully. That's what I had to do. And so I accepted that challenge, and I told David, yes, I would love to play Leland Palmer, even though I thought I was going to be Sheriff Truman. He did it very well. And yes, that was how I got the part of Leland. And then I started playing it, and you know, I at my daughter's funeral, we're burying her in the cemetery, and I throw myself on the casket. And that was the beginning of the outrageously weird story of Leland Palmer. And it just increased week after week after week after that. And they kept writing great stuff for it. And I was heading down that highway, careening towards the end, not even realizing it. Not even realizing that I was the killer of my own daughter. That never crossed my mind. I thought I was a grieving father. I couldn't be responsible for this. If they decide that I'm the one, I'm gonna quit. Yeah. Yeah, a couple of days there, I'm ready to quit. I said, I can't do this. I had a 2-year-old daughter of my own at the time. And the whole idea of being my daughter's killer was anathema to me. I can't do this. I can't, you know, I'm an actor, you know, I can do a lot of shit, but I can't do this. And then I realized I would have the hell sued out of me. And so I accepted the idea that I was a killer. Reluctantly.
Juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
Uh-huh.
Juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
Yeah. Right.
How did it change the way that you approached playing the character in the movie? Because the advantage that you have going into Fire Walk with Me is that you do know that you're the killer.
Oh, by then I knew Leland completely. Yeah, by then I knew and I was already dead, you know. So playing him alive and being the prequel to what went on before my daughter's death was revelatory to me. I was head on, committed every single moment of this film that you just saw. We had a wonderful time making that movie. You wouldn't think so. You wouldn't, and poor Cheryl, you know, Cheryl Lee, she went through hell, through the gamut of emotion, and came out on top of it. You know, for my money, it was a great performance. And, I think she should have been, but at that time, people weren't looking kindly on Fire Walk with Me. I remember when the movie came out and we're at the Cannes Film Festival, it got booed for about 15 minutes. That's a long time to get booed.
I thought they saved the long ones for just the standing ovation.
Yeah, I know. You'd think that.
The shame to hear that they do it with
they
boos, too.
they reserve their long ones for boobs.
We've been saving this one up.
Yeah, the Cannes audience hated it, and for a long time that seemed to be the consensus, and it took years and repeated viewings to realize this was David's masterpiece. And everything you would ever want to know about a David Lynch film was right in there in Fire Walk with Me. Everything that went on in his mind, everything that he felt, and everything that he felt the need to express was right in that movie. And the last 10, 15 minutes of that film that you just saw was like a religious experience for me when I saw it. Because I was in that boxcar, and I killed her in that boxcar. And I threw a plastic sheet over her and wrapped her into it. And I carried her out of that boxcar and floated her away in the water. And she was heavy too. There was it wasn't Cheryl in Rapid, but there was a body. It was a stunt girl. Yeah, and I think they tried to pick a light one, you know, for me. She was probably a 95 or 100 pounder. But even so, that's a lot to throw over your shoulder. Walk away with, you know, from any distance. What I did. That was a night in the woods up there in the Northwest. And I think when I floated her body in the water, it was about 2:30 in the morning. And it was a full day, and I slept well that night. Okay.
All in a day's work.
All in a day's work. We were staying in this motel, the Red Lion Inn, a kind of a cheap motel, but the whole cast and crew were there, including David. He stayed in the same motel. He stayed with us. So we were all there. We were all taking over that Red Lion Inn motel, and that was an experience also. That certainly added to the dreadful feelings that we had in the woods, that motel.
Do you guys want a moment of levity?
Yeah.
So, someone who works here stole my lunch from the employee refrigerator. Could I get pit lights real quick? I want to use the Tibetan methods to figure out who stole my lunch.
Stole your lunch?
Yeah, stole my lunch, so I'm starving. Right over there, there is a bottle sitting on Dennis Scott's beautiful organ.
We love you,
On the
Dennis.
bench. If there's a spotlight, I would love to get that right on that bench right there.
Wait a minute, a spotlight on that beautiful organ.
It's an empty bottle. It's an empty bottle. Yeah, I appreciate that. You having care for. You could have just said, let's do it. I'm going to say the names of people that I work with and my relationship to them. And I want you to throw these rocks at that water bottle. And if you hit one, I know who stole my lunch.
All right, he's trying to pull some David Lynch stuff right here. All right.
First up is Hannah, tonight's projectionist.
Hannah.
Bring it on.
Hannah's safe.
He used to be a catcher too, you know.
That's the second baseman's glove.
Okay.
All right. Charlie, the front manager.
Charlie?
Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
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 Charlie. His name's Charlie.
Okay. Obviously not her.
Georgia, the bartender.
Oh. Georgia the bartender. I met her earlier in the evening. Oh. Georgia. I could have done that on the first two, but I wanted to save it for Georgia. How about that, huh?
You knew it.
Huh? Yeah?
All right, that's the only moment of levity that you're gonna get.
No, no.
The end of that movie never gets easier.
Yeah.
Feeling safe on set is very important.
Yep.
How, like the brain, it doesn't know the difference between real fear and make-believe fear. What was the atmosphere like on set when it came to ensuring that everybody felt safe?
That's a really good question. Well, we felt safe within each other in our relationships that we established with the other actors. That we could, in between takes and after certain scenes, we could sit down and talk with each other and discuss it and try to keep it light. And David always sort of tried to keep everything light. Not too extreme, not too serious. He always wanted us to have fun. I know that sounds crazy, seeing some of the stuff that we did in this film, but we were having fun at the time, even when, I beat up Jacques Renault and I kicked him. And then I got my daughter and the other girl and put them on a leash and ran them through the woods. And it looks like terrible stuff, but we were actually having fun.
Speaking of fun, is there a good reason why the missing piece of you teaching Grace Zabriskie and Cheryl Norwegian didn't make the movie?
I don't know why not. I have no idea. Well, I know that the original cut, David's original cut of the film, was about 5 hours long. Which was about 2.5 hours longer than the producers of the film wanted it to be. And so they insisted on chopping it down, and of course in that chopping they cut out a lot of good stuff, you know. I would have preferred to see in the film. So that's why they put out the missing pieces, because they wanted everyone to see that, you know, some of the stuff that was worth seeing that wasn't in the original version of it, you know.
If you could put on your editor hat and edit in some scene, some moment, even if it wasn't previously written,
Right.
that would explore Leland's psyche in a way that you would like it to be represented, what would you put into the movie?
Oh, God.
It could even just be like a subtle, no dialogue. Just something that further conveys to the audience who this man is, what he's dealing with, that you would find satisfying.
Oh, man. You're giving me chills here.
I'm just reading off the cue card.
I don't know. I think I pretty much. I think in my death scene in the series, which was what, the 15th or 16th episode, I forget which now, but
16.
see, yeah, he knows more about it. I think in that scene I got mostly everything out that I wanted to get out. As Leland, and that's a funny, this is kind of a funny story. Can I tell this story?
I love stories.
Okay. So, you know, I didn't want me to be the killer, okay? And, well, the day came when they called me up to a room at the studio up on the 2nd floor, and I went up to the room, and I walked inside, and it was dark, and it was devoid of furniture. There was a lava lamp in the corner. That was it. Over in the other corner was David Lynch sitting cross-legged on the floor, Native American style. Cheryl Lee sitting cross-legged on the floor. Mark Frost sitting cross-legged on the floor. Richard Beamer, Ben Horn, sitting cross-legged on the floor. So I walked over and I sat cross-legged. I'm wondering what's going to happen here. David leans over, touches me on the knee, and he says, "Ray, it's you. It's always been you." I'm going to have to leave town, or I'm going to die, or I'm going to go to jail, or something. And
What if you were just the one who walked in the room? Like Michael Onkeen walks in and like, it was always you.
No. I thought he would have been a great choice. Cooper would have been a great choice as far as I was concerned. Or Ben Horn, not me. And David said, Ray, it's going to be a beautiful thing. And then he went on to explain it to me. You know, that I was going to die in Cooper's arms, my favorite FBI agent. That's another long story. Maybe save that for another time. My favorite FBI agent, and he was going to be reciting the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and I was going to be looking down a long, dark tunnel, and at the end of that tunnel, there would be a bright light, and in that bright light would be my daughter, Laura, holding out her arms to me, forgiving me. He made it sound so beautiful. I said, okay, David, yeah. Yeah, man. I get it. And I'll do it, and I get it. And came the day when I had to do that scene. He was right, it was a beautiful thing. I felt somehow redeemed at the end of it, and I was a dead man. Isn't it funny? Is it not funny that almost 40 years after the fact, the Twin Peaks burst on the scene, that we're in this theater here tonight? I think it's remarkable what this whole scene, all these ideas that came popping out of David's head, a man of ideas who woke up in the morning every day just thinking about what to do next. His creative mind just functioning 24/7, all the time. He painted, he wrote music, he did everything. I mean, everything imaginable creatively, David explored fully. And he was something to be around. Just his very presence, just standing next to you would motivate you to do exceptional things. And he was I remember a scene in the series where I'm dancing around with my daughter's picture. I don't know if you remember that. And my wife comes in, the great Grace Zabriskie. Talk about a wife, huh? What a wife. And I remember when I found out that she was cast as my wife, I said, what? Who is this woman? Who is she? Do I look like I should be married to her? Or that she should be married to me? Well, boy, was I in for it, huh? She was magnificent. And talk about motivating me, no question. Any scene you're in with Ray Zabriskie is jacked up 100%. So, where was I?
I was going to ask you, if there was no third season, would you have been satisfied if this was the conclusion of the Twin Peaks story?
Absolutely. Yeah, in fact, I was, I've got a hang up about the third season.
We'll talk about that tomorrow when we watch the episodes.
Oh, we're gonna watch it tomorrow?
We're going to watch 2 episodes tomorrow.
Am I in it at all?
You're in both.
How that could be. No, I know how it could be.
We're not both from The Return.
I remember-
One's from The Return.
All I remember is, for about 6 or 8 months, I'm talking about maybe there's going to be a third season. This is before any announcements or anybody even considering an announcement. I'm shooting off my big mouth. And I think I pissed Mark Frost off. I'm pretty sure I did, maybe. And talking, you know, when I shouldn't be talking. And so David invited me to come to a retrospective they were doing at the Orange County Museum of some of his artwork. And I was going to show up there and have dinner with him and, you know, enjoy the evening. And when we talked there at the retrospective, I said, David, you know, there's a rumor going around that there's going to be a third season of Twin Peaks. And David just looked at me and he said, well, the town's still there. And I said, well, yeah, but I'm dead. And he said, well, we can work around that. And of course, he's the greatest at working around that, you know. So I thought, you know, when they finally made the announcement, third season, wow. You want to save this for tomorrow?
I would love to save this for tomorrow because I actually want to let you know that we have a surprise for you.
Oh.
I know.
A surprise?
Yes, we have one of your co-stars from Fire Walk with Me in the building tonight, and they want to say hi. So, my friends, please put your hands together for Laura Palmer's Angel. After all these years, is there anything that you'd like to say to Laura Palmer's Angel? Because here she comes. She only knows one way of traveling, and it's like this. It's that shadow.
Yeah. Are you okay? Wow. That's a great effect. Yeah. Is that a real person? Hello? Wow. Ooh. You're really freaking me out here now, you know.
Hey,
This is,
all right, Angel, how
Hello?
about you just park yourself right there? Beautiful.
yeah, you look, you haven't changed a bit. She certainly hasn't aged at all.
Yeah, I mean, those angels. Different laws.
Yeah, different laws, right?
Okay. Well, I think we are Yeah, it is time to wrap it up, but it would be amiss for me to not just ask you in front of all of these people, right before we leave, do you think you could teach me like a little soft shoe? Like a little, just a little, I like to dance a lot in the lobby, just like a little, 1, 2, just a little footwork.
Little footwork?
Just a little something, something soft, something gentle.
Something soft, something gentle. How about this?
Okay.
Well, how about this? I came bursting into Ben Horn's office, and I said, "Oh, Mersey notes and little lambsy divey too, wouldn't you? Oh, Mersey notes and little lambsy divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? Although the words sound queer and funny to your ear, a little bit jumpy and jivey, say Mersey oats and dozy oats and little lambsy divey. Oh, Mersey notes and little lambsy divey, a kiddly divey too, wouldn't you? A kiddly divey too, wouldn't you?"
Now, my friends, Ray and I are going to escape up that aisle. I'm going to ask you to stay standing or seated because we want to get him back to the lounge, and then you can get in line to meet him, take pictures, sign a million things. All your heart's delayed. Ray?